This is macOS Ken.
Past and future iPhone talk, Mac news and speculation, and a monster promotion for a monster show. It is Tuesday, the 24th of February, 2026. I'm Ken Ray, and this is news from macOS Ken, brought to you by yours truly and sponsored by NordLayer, toggle-ready network security built for your business. Get savings on top of savings with offer code macOSKen-10-NordLayer at nordlayer.com/macOSKen. This show is also sponsored by Squarespace, the all-in-one platform for growing your presence online. Are you like me? Have you given up on big social media? Platforms where I used to spend a ton of time no longer get my attention. Mostly because I don't dig hate speech. So the businesses that do business there, the podcasts that promote there, they're missing me with their messaging. If you're looking to promote an existing business or start a new one, don't risk being buried by algorithms that reward conflict over quality. Stake your own place with Squarespace. First, they'll help you make a beautiful site, either with their library of professionally designed and award-winning templates or with Blueprint AI, a Squarespace tool to give you a custom site in just a few steps. Then they will help that site get seen. Sites built with Squarespace are made to be noticed with meta descriptions, an auto-generated sitemap, and more. If people are looking for something like you, Squarespace will help them find you. But you gotta put yourself out there. Head to squarespace.com/macOSKen for a free trial. Then when you're ready to launch, use offer code macOSKen to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Build the site that is right for you with Squarespace. Go to squarespace.com/macOSKen for a free trial. Then use offer code macOSKen for 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Squarespace, the all-in-one platform for growing your presence online. Get started today at squarespace.com/macOSKen. The smartphone market in Europe finished 2025 on a high note. That is the word from Counterpoint research. But there is trouble on the horizon. That is the word from every market tracker out there, including Counterpoint research. Doing the good news first, a post from the firm late last week had Apple winning the European smartphone race in the December quarter. iPhone controlled 33% of smartphone shipments in Europe, up from 31% in the fourth quarter of 2024. Second place Samsung also grew its shipments. The South Korean smartphone maker had a 29% share last quarter, up from 28% from the same quarter a year earlier. As for the trouble ahead, do I really need to say it? Associate Director Jan Strajek fills in the blank, saying, "There is trouble on the horizon, with memory price rises expected to cause a significant downturn in 2026. Lower price tiers will face the biggest challenges, but overall shipments will nevertheless suffer significant year-on-year declines over the next few quarters." Apple is reportedly considering something new for this fall's iPhones, a red one. Yeah, I know, but I guess these are going to be different or something. Engadget did a bit of regurmentation, highlighting takes from Mark Gurman's Power On newsletter for Bloomberg over the weekend. According to that, red is the new flagship color in testing for the next iPhone Pros. At first, that sounds kind of flashy for Apple's Pro phones. Then you think about the success Apple has seen with the Hermes Orange iPhone in China. Oh, it's not really Hermes, though. It's been likened to the French fashion firm's signature color by fans and influencers in the Middle Kingdom, according to a piece a few weeks back from the Financial Times. With red as a potential frontrunner for the next iPhone Pro colors, Engadget says Apple could capture even more sales in China especially since the color is seen as lucky in Chinese culture. And are we worried about product red confusion at all? Sold to raise awareness of and money for the global fight against HIV and AIDS, Engadget points out that the last available iPhones in the product red line were the original iPhone SE, iPhone 14, and iPhone 14 Plus. So will these simply be red products or product red products? Or they could do an 80s crossover and do simply red products. Money's too tight to mention. You'll keep holding on to these iPhones. Hey, remember when Apple used to have a musical guest close out the keynote? Simply Red Phone 2026. Tell a friend. The Big Bam Beta Parade rolls on. Pieces from 9 to 5 Mac say Apple on Monday seeded the second betas of iOS 26.4 and iPadOS 26.4 to developers. Was there anything else? You betcha! Members of Apple's developer program also got access to the second betas of macOS Tahoe 26.4, as well as 26.4 versions of watchOS, tvOS, and visionOS. As for what's new, one thing looks like something old. Another piece from 9 to 5 Mac has Apple maybe calling back a previous design choice. You know, the search option in Apple's own iOS apps used to be part of the whole tab bar, with the search field turning up on top. Search behavior went back to that for the App Store in the first beta of iOS 26.4. Thing is, it only happened last week for the App Store, making the 9 to 5ers think it might have been a glitch. Move ahead to this week's beta, and the old search functionality is still in the App Store and has been added to the Apple Games app. Personally, I hope this is a trend that continues. I can't tell you how many times I've hit search for the Podcasts app in macOS 26.4, then hit it again before realizing that it actually had popped up a search field in a place on the screen that we have not been trained to look for search for years and years and years. Everything new in search is old again. Keep it coming. Testing for end-to-end encryption in RCS continues in this week's betas. Yet another piece from 9 to 5 Mac says last week's testing only worked for RCS messages from iPhone to iPhone. This week, the piece says support is expanding to include messaging between iPhone and Android devices. That said, iPhone testers will have to go into settings to toggle the functionality on, while the Android side will need to be running the latest beta version of the Google Messages app. Also, it'll depend on carrier support. Doesn't really sound ready, but that's okay. As sites reported last week, RCS end-to-end encryption will not actually ship as part of iOS 26.4. Instead, it's included in this beta for testing purposes, and Apple says it will be available in a future iOS 26 update. Walmart's supply of M1 MacBook Airs has reportedly dried up. The piece from Mac Rumors says the machine, which got as low as $549 during a Black Friday sale this past holiday season, that machine is gone now. It is listed as out of stock with no indication that it will be back. Mac Rumors sees this disappearance as a possible sign that a replacement is coming soon. A low-cost MacBook powered by an A-series Apple processor has been rumored for some time. Expectations are that it will be among the range of products Apple is expected to announce next week, either during or ahead of its experiences for select media. Seems most are now expecting a series of press releases about new products next week, ahead of media demos in New York, London, and Shanghai on Wednesday, the 4th of March. Farther on the horizon, Apple is planning to make another Mac here in the US. 9 to 5 Mac had Apple Chief Operating Officer Sabi Khan telling the Wall Street Journal this week that Foxconn will start producing units of Mac Mini at a facility in Houston, Texas, sometime this year. While Khan tells the Journal that Apple makes thousands of Mac Mini units every week, it's unclear how many will be made in the Lone Star State. A piece on the same discussion from Apple Insider indicates that the plan is for all Mac Mini units made for the U.S. to be made in the U.S. More news in a moment, but first a word from today's sponsor, NordLayer, a toggle-ready network security platform built for today's business. How much would you spend to secure your business? For threat protection that works to keep malware and phishing attempts from ever reaching your team? For a quality VPN? How much would you spend for Falcon endpoint protection from NordLayer partner CrowdStrike? Maybe you're thinking a business as small as yours could never work with somebody that big, could never afford service that big. Can your business afford $8 per user per month? That's NordLayer's basic rate, though they have better rates that I'll tell you about in a moment. Assuming your business can handle $8 per user per month, the real question, with the rise of phishing attempts aided by AI and growing threats of malware and ransomware, the real question is, can your business afford to be without the kinds of protections offered by NordLayer? There's the rate I told you about, $8 per user per month. There are special rates for teams with 100 seats or more, and there is an exclusive offer for you. Get up to 22% off NordLayer yearly plans, plus 10% on top with offer code MacOSCAN-10-NordLayer at nordlayer.com/MacOSCAN. Try it risk-free with their 14-day money-back guarantee. NordLayer, toggle-ready network security built for your business. Get savings on top of savings with offer code MacOSCAN-10-NordLayer at nordlayer.com/MacOSCAN. The seed is dead. Long live the sales coach. I told you recently of rumored plans to replace the Sales Enablement, Education, and Development, or SEED app for Apple retail staff and staff at Apple authorized resellers. Now a piece from Mac Rumors says that replacement has happened. For now, it's just a paint job and a name change. Folks with the SEED app will see it change to Sales Coach with Monday's update. It'll also have that infuriating, did I say infuriating? I meant gorgeous, liquid glass display. At some point, it'll also get access to a new AI chatbot that will answer product-related questions. That has not gone live yet, according to the report. The Apple Sports app has been updated again. 9 to 5 Mac ran a piece Monday that had the iPhone app preparing for March Madness, and believe it or not, adding still more soccer. Release notes for Apple Sports version 3.8 urge users to follow the men's and women's NCAA tournaments in real time, with brackets showcasing matchups and results at a glance for each round, so you can keep up with every game. Additionally, the piece says the update also adds a new soccer category that Apple says makes it easier to find and follow your favorite leagues, cups, and more, all in one place. Added leagues include Campeonato Brasileiro Serie A, Categoria Primera A, Liga de Primera, Liga Pro, Liga Professional de Futebol, and Primera División del Peru. Congrats to the people behind the sound in F1 The Movie. Apple Insider says they picked up a couple of awards over the weekend. On Saturday, they received the Excellence in Sound for a Feature Film Award from the Association of Motion Picture Sound. Then Sunday, the team took home the BAFTA for Best Sound. And finally today, a monster promotion for Apple's Monster TV show. Apple Insider says a promotional drone display for the Apple TV series Monarch, Legacy of Monsters set a world record last week. According to the piece, the event used a fleet of drones to create dot-based models of Godzilla, King Kong, and Titan X, each of which will turn up in Monarch's second season. The display lasted 12 minutes, apparently not a world record. It used 3,000 drones to create the visual effects, also apparently not a world record. Some of the drones flew as high as 500 feet. You guessed it, not a world record. What record did they break? Tallest aerial display of a fictional character formed by drones, according to Apple Insider. Previously, the piece says that record was held by Marvel, creating a giant Wolverine at San Diego Comic-Con in July of 2024. See, that's ridiculous. The MonsterVerse Godzilla is supposed to be like 380 feet tall or something. Hugh Jackman's about 6'3". I'm pretty sure Wolverine's shorter than that, though. Maybe it's because he's always crouching, as if ready to pounce. Apple's video of the event should get an award for really underselling the whole thing. While the promo was said to have lasted about 12 minutes, Apple's video is about 1 minute long, only about half of which features the drones. Whatever. Season 1 of Monarch, Legacy of Monsters is available to stream now on Apple TV. The first episode of Season 2 hits this Friday, the 27th of February. macOS Ken, brought to you by me, and sponsored by NordLayer. Toggle-ready network security built for your business. Get savings on top of savings with offer code macOSKen-10-NordLayer at nordlayer.com/macOSKen. This show is also sponsored by Squarespace. Get 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain with offer code macOSKen at squarespace.com/macOSKen. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media, online at backbeatmedia.com. You can find me on Mastodon, macOSKen at mastodon.social. You can also send me an email, info@macosken.com. Until next time, that is news from macOS Ken. I'm Ken Ray.
Collect your tokens and let's get on to the next round.